Okay, let's try this with sound now. There we go. So, Venkata Ramana, hi. How can I help you? And also, welcome. I've yet to start your course actually. Okay, how can I help you? And it's getting warm in here. Can you hear me, dude? Can you hear me? I just want to know CSS inheritance and specificity. Yep. Can just briefly explain. Well, let's start by, let me close this up and open this. So let's say, first of all, can you hear me? Just say yes if you can. Bit confused about that. I'm asking. Dude, can you hear me? Yes, bro. Oh, excellent. Okay, so you want to know about specificity. Well, it has to do with how, you do want to know how you select things in HTML, don't you? In CSS. So let's say, I'm just asking if you, let's say we have this H1, and let me actually create another H1. H1, let's just say title. And this title can have an ID, call it ID, then a class, let's call it class. Okay, so we can select this, all of this, either by using the tag H1, but this will select all of our H1 tags. So let me just show you. If I do this and color red, then I'll stop my server. Jesus. Okay, let's open this up again. Let me close this. And I didn't link up the CSS, haha. So let's go down here. And first of all, let's link up our CSS. So type in up here, link, style, CSS. Now if I hit save, all of the H1s turned red, okay? If, for example, I want to select from these three H1s, the second one, let's say, that I could go in here and say H1 first child, and then color blue. So this is a way of selecting specifically something in the HTML. I specifically selected the first child of these three H1s. If I would like to select the second one, I could type in nth child, and now within parentheses, let's type in 2. Now I selected the second one, the second H1. I could be even more specific by typing in, you could do this h1 with the ID. This is hash. Let me just type in here a comment. So control backslash is comment in CSS. Let's say hash. So hash is ID, comma, this is the way we select IDs using hash. ID is really specific because you should have only one ID in your entire HTML, so only one type of ID. If I would use this ID again, let's say here, and it's not that good of an idea. We could do that, but you should use a different ID. So let's go with this one, ID of ID, or ID1. Let's go with this, and this would be class also 1. So I want to select the last h1 down here. I would go with the ID of ID1, and let's turn this, let's say color green. You can see this title right here. Let's also increase the font size. So font size, let's say 4 rem, a huge title. So I was really specific that I only want to select within our HTML the ID one. If you're using Visual Studio Code and you hover over this, check this out. Selector Specificity. You can see this one right here. This means this is really specific. You can't get more specific than this. If I would select the class dot, let me put a comment in here. Dot is the way we select classes. So let's go with dot class 1. I'm selecting again exactly the same h1. You can see it also has the class of 1. And let's type in, let's change the color to pink. Jesus. Did I mistype something? Class 1. Class 1. What the hell did I do wrong here? Oh yeah, because the specificity, you can see now it's in the second place. So this up here is far more specific than this down here. Let me just comment this out. Now it has the color pink. Okay, I can also increase the font size to, let's say, 3 rem. Let's stay with pixels. Rem are a bit more complicated. 36 pixels. Pink is not the best color to see. Okay, let's go with orange, red. So this is the way we select, and this is actually specificity. If I would go up here on the h1, you can see it's in the third row here. So ID is the most specific, then comes class, and then comes h1, or the tag, actually the tag. Does this answer your question? Please say yes, please say yes. By the way, can you hear me okay? Yes, exactly. ID will be more specific than class. It will be the most specific way that you can select something. It's ID, class, and tag. Nice. Glad to be of help. Do you have any other questions? I'm just wondering how huge is the lag between what I can read in your comments until you hear me. So this is really the first real good live stream that I'm realizing here. Inheritance, please. Okay. Just a sec. I have to close something up here. So this should be there, and I should move this. Okay. So back to inheritance. Yeah, I think I'm also seeing the messages a bit late. You do mean inheritance in JavaScript, don't you? Okay. Oh, in CSS only. Okay. Not much in programming language yet. Oh, don't worry. You should really learn the basics of HTML and CSS, and when you have a firm grasp on them, then you should go to JavaScript or move on to JavaScript. So your question was, wait a second, inheritance in CSS. Well, actually, inheritance in CSS, I have to give you an example. It's much easier that way. Let's say, let's create here a paragraph tag. Let's just type in a lorem 10. This should be enough. And how is it? If I take the class, wait a sec. So I do have some problems with my stream here. Damn it. I did wrong. Well, let's say that we have somewhere here a let's put in here first of all a comment. So inheritance. I just managed to mistype inheritance, Jesus. Let's say inherit. Inherit CSS. Let's also copy this into our style sheet and make it a comment. So let's say we want to have a div or an h2 with a lorem 5, so it won't be long, and I would wrap this a span tag, this to lore. And I would have another h2. No, let's say I have an h3. And here I would have a lorem something long. And let's say we also have here a span. And I would wrap, let's say I take all of this, wrap it in a span tag. And I would give this a class of inherit. No, this would be confusing then. Something. It's good. It's a good class name, something. Okay, so if I would take this span and say it should have a color red, then all the span tags will turn red. Now, back in our HTML, I could specify that within the class of something, the color should be green. The span tag still stays red. Now, if I go now and say span, only the span within the class of something, only the span will turn red. But if I would change to inherit, then it would inherit. I should change the color. So class something, color green. And now let's comment this out. So the class in the tag, the class of something has the color green, but the span, which is globally selected now, is not, check out the specificity, it's free, is red, so it's still red. If I would change this to, so I just selected it and it isn't declared. Should it be something else? No, the CSS knows that it should be red. But if I would type in inherit, then it would inherit the color of the class. Let's close this up. It's inheriting its parent properties. Yeah. Was this clear enough? So once again, the span, which is in the class of something, this is such a stupid name. So this span inherits its parent style or its parent properties. Nice. Okay, glad that I could be of help. What do you mean, any rules to keep in mind in CSS? Any specific rules or? Rules in general, well, practice. Practice till your fingers fall off. That's the first rule. Well, the rule would be that no matter how hard and long you learn, there's always something new, and you will always have to look up things because information goes in and then it falls out again because new information comes in and it falls out again, and it's a constant flow of information, and you're getting older and you can't keep in mind anything. But general rules are, it is a cascading style sheet, so if you do something above and you do it again down, then it will be overridden. And yeah, just practice, man. Practice, practice, practice. Do a million things, and at the end of the day, it will come. Nice. Well, first of all, thank you for enrolling in my course. And second of all, love to hear from you again. And keep practicing. I'm telling you, each time you have the opportunity, try new things, destroy things. Don't worry about it. And for HTML, you just need to know the basic tags, and nowadays it's so easy with Emmet to. It's easy. The days of Notepad, it was, well, wow, where did I close it? Did I forgot to close the tag? Oh man. No, it didn't bother me. Glad to have you. No problem. That is why the stream is answering beginner HTML and CSS questions. Welcome if you are watching your live stream. Well, because my YouTube channel is extremely new. I almost have only not even 200 followers, so no biggie. Thank you. Thank you very much. The day will come with time. In time, everything comes in time. Just like you learning things in time, patience and in time. And patience is also a skill. You need to exercise it. It's a muscle. What my future plans are, well, I'm actually working on my second course, Advanced CSS and SAS, and I'm trying to build a framework. So, Bootstrap and things like that, I don't like them because they're too much bootstrappy. And I'm trying to build a SAS frameworks where we can modify everything. Yeah, I'm working on my second course. It should be out end of April. Hope so. Because I'm trying to push everything in there. just don't have the time for it, and yeah. Patience. Trying to make like 10 projects within it, and whew, it's complex. Yeah, it's, well, advanced. What is advanced? As I said, as soon as you know the basics and have a little bit of exercise with it, it's advanced. Would be if you're working in a, let's say in React or something like that, when you really have to know everything. I have a good grasp on HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. But this course mainly focuses on just applying all the basics and using a lot of animations and transitions and basically the components. The components are really interesting. I'm trying to build button components and form components. So you just take it and drop it in and make a few modifications and boom, your page is done. Okay, dude. So go on and learn, exercise. Yes, after this course, I'm planning to do a JavaScript course. But I want to have this order for really the beginning, a little bit from everything from the beginning. So a little bit of HTML, a little bit of CSS, a little bit of JavaScript, and an advanced CSS and SAS. And then because SAS is really interesting, it's not like JavaScript, but it's a bit like JavaScript. A few things. You have functions, you have mixins, you have if statements, else, you have loops. So yeah. How quickly can you learn JavaScript? Years? Well, I think in that with exercising a lot, in 1 year you know JavaScript, then mastering it, man, it's years and years. And it's always something new happening, and yeah. Patience. As I said, patience. You gotta have patience. It really depends on the person how quickly he learns. And if it's your first programming language, then it's a bit difficult, and if it's the second, then it goes smoother. And yeah, you know, if you know how to walk, then you can learn how to run. So first of all, learn to walk. So crawl, walk, run. How would you come to know that one should begin learning frameworks after JavaScript? Huh. Well, it's actually a pretty simple answer. You do that, you learn JavaScript, then you try a framework, then you will definitely go back to JavaScript because it will be overwhelming. And I would suggest to start with Vue or React. And then, if you're overwhelmed, then you go back to JavaScript. And if you're not overwhelmed, then you stick with the framework. And don't ask me which framework because they're all the same in the sense of you should learn that one that you need in sense of what the industry wants in your region. Yep, finish that. Do your HTML, do your CSS, have a firm grasp on it, and because you will see if you try to do DOM modifications and something doesn't happen, is because you messed either something up in, if everything is correct in your JS, your JavaScript, then it's probably something in your HTML or CSS, and there are conflicts within it. Don't worry, everything comes in time. So you just asked which one is easier framework to learn. I think it's Vue. It's pretty straightforward. So from the three big ones, wouldn't recommend Angular because woo. But I think Vue.js is, Vue is actually the easier. None of them are really easy, but easier. And React is also amazing. It's also pretty straightforward. Okay, dude, I'm almost at the 1 hour marker. I'm going to end the stream now. Do you have any other questions? Well, thank you. It was lovely interacting with you too. Have fun and exercise, exercise, exercise. Do you have a bicep on your finger? Such a bicep. Okay. Have a great day, dude. And I'm actually also going to end the stream now. Still have a few things to do. So take care, everybody. Bye-bye. Okay. Bye, everybody. Have a nice day. And stay healthy.